We are about to get another big punch from Mother Nature of rain, and our rivers are already at capacity. We've been reporting since yesterday they cannot hold more water. The Snohomish and Snoqualmie Rivers overflowing onto roads and fields now. Mudslides out in North Bend and the Puyallup River reaching major flood stage in parts overnight.
All right, KIRO 7 has your back with this weather. We have our reporters covering this flooding today from all angles. Team coverage begins with Pinpoint Chief Meteorologist Morgan Palmer in the Pinpoint Weather Center. What a day.
Yeah, and it's just going to get a lot worse over the next couple of days. We are now going to be seeing river levels we have not seen before on some of our rivers, including the Snohomish and Skagit rivers. I have some new information just coming in, and I'll be along with that in just a few minutes. I want to set the large scale view here with the atmospheric river. It's revisiting us after taking a real brief move down to Oregon as we take a look at rain across the area, across the central parts of the Puget Sound region and the coast. Rain just starting to ramp up. This rain is more nuisance rain. It's going to get heavier into tomorrow, but the heavy rain tomorrow is going to be targeting our mountains, especially the North Cascades, and rivers are going to rise once again. A lot of the worst flooding on many rivers, especially closer to the Salish Sea, are going to be occurring on Thursday with those rivers rising, even though the rain is going to be tapering at that point. And we have a wind advisory. This is going to impact a lot of us tomorrow. Winds over 40 miles an hour. This could take down more trees. I'll have a look at the Skagit River, the updated forecast, which has the record level being set this week coming up.
Thank you, Morgan. We mentioned a punch. The first one was staggering. A lot of people were trying to bounce back from that first round of flooding while bracing for yet another round. KIRO 7's Jack Bilyeu is live for us in North Bend tonight, which is facing a lot. Jack, the business you're standing in front of now caught some of the worst damage, right?
Yeah, the entire vet's office behind me flooded, and it did cause some pretty substantial damage. If you take a look, you can see on those flower pots where all those needles and leaves are stuck. That's how high the water went before it went back down.
Trying to smile because, trying to laugh at it because otherwise I would probably cry.
Lisa Crocker says a culvert next to her animal clinic didn't drain properly, so the floodwaters came and didn't go down. This was the result.
I've been trying to get important stuff up off the floor.
She says the floodwater messed up the septic system and left the floor of her business covered in mud and worse. She spent the day rescheduling appointments and surgeries, cleaning, and trying to figure out just how extensive that damage is and what a reopening timeline might look like. But before reopening, there's round 2 to worry about.
We're going to try and sandbag as best we can. Hopefully it won't be so bad now that it's draining better out there.
Countless people along the Snoqualmie River were impacted, and many are in the same boat as Crocker, looking to get sandbags in place before the river crests again. In this area, it'll be even higher next time.
It's been a waterway since, well, sometime in the night.
Steve Liebig and his neighbors spent the morning stuck at home near Falls City because the only road in or out was flooded. He was in good spirits and told us this was one of the most solid excuses to miss work he's ever had.
I've been calling in saying, I'm coming, but it keeps getting delayed.
Now the rain is already coming back down, and there's part of this key solution there, those sandbags. Now, if you live in this area, you can't expect the river to crest again at around 10 o'clock. You can pick up sandbags at North Bend City Hall. You can also check out our website, KIRO7.com, for a full list of where you can go to get those bags. Live in North Bend, Jack Bilyeu, KIRO 7 News.
From there north to Snohomish County here, where Drone 7 caught crews cleaning up. Look at this massive logjam, just trying to make a dent really at this point. This was on Highway 2 near Lake Stevens this afternoon. And in the last hour, Snohomish County issuing an emergency proclamation that's due to flooding. Cold weather shelters have been opened. People in flood-prone areas are being told to be ready to evacuate their homes. This comes after the city of Snohomish declared one as well. Many roads there flooded and blocked. Snohomish city staff have closed 3 parks because of flooding.
Now, coming up within the next half hour, we're zooming in on impacts to the Puyallup River. That river's forecasted to peak even higher in Orting, where Chapman just reported live a few minutes ago. We're hearing from locals and how they're prepping for it at 5:30.
Now, many roads are flooded in Orting, including part of State Route 162. The sheriff's office shared this video. Look at this, multiple cars that had to be towed. Drivers went around road closed signs and tried to drive through deep standing water. So deputies reminding you it is extremely dangerous and could be very expensive because of the damage that could be done to your car.
A lot of trouble you can get by making decisions behind the wheel.
Yes.
To that end, we're turning now to the conditions on the roads. Let's bring in Paola Tristan Arruda in the real-time traffic center.
Gary, I've been following issues all day long from the morning till now. I'm still seeing a lot of roads that are closed because of flooding. Luckily, it seems like not many of the major roads are impacted, but still something to watch out for if you are traveling out this way now. So in Monroe, we do have Crescent Lake Road that's blocked. That's between High Bridge Road and 203rd Street. So that is something to watch out for if your commute takes you out that way. Also, Old Snohomish Monroe Road is still closed. That's because of flooding. Now, we do have some issues right here in Hayek. This is State Road 906, which is closed. This is near Summit. There was some weather damage because there was some heavy rain that happened earlier this morning that created some damage along that road. So it is closed. And even farther east, State Road 10 is closed, and that will still remain closed overnight. That's from State Road 970 Junction to Hayward Road in Cle Elum, and that is because of that heavy flooding. So I'll be tracking and monitoring those conditions, and I'll bring you the very latest in just a little bit.
Oh my God. Woo! That last step would be a doozy.
Yeah, it would. New video coming in there showing that trail in North Bend just carved out by a mudslide today. That landslide just part of that shutdown eastbound I-90 today. We brought you this landslide as breaking news this morning. This happened just before exit 38 on I-90. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin watched as more than 100 semi-trucks were stuck in the backup chaos.
Yet another strong atmospheric river is moving through western Washington, this time causing a mudslide over eastbound I-90 lanes near North Bend. You can see the shoulder and right lane is blocked with debris, thick mud, tree branches, and rocks just covering the road.
They're holding one of the lanes up at the slide.
I-90 eastbound was shut down for more than 5 hours, backing up semi-trucks for more than 2 miles. The only detour would have taken drivers up to Route 2, adding about 3.5 hours to the commute across the Cascades. The lanes are now reopened, crews working through the night to clear as much of that debris as they could. WSDOT officials say they haven't seen any sort of mudslide in this area of I-90 in many years. They tell us a geoengineer team will assess the hillside to determine if stability measures are needed as this weather moves through. WSDOT is asking everyone to move over and slow down if you see their crews out this week to ensure everyone stays safe. In North Bend, Brooke Griffin, KIRO 7 News.
Okay, tonight we have a chance to catch up with WSDOT following that particular mudslide.
Yeah, Summer Derry with the Department of Transportation joining us now. Thanks so much for being with us. So what can you tell us about the cleanup on I-90 in particular this morning?
Yeah, I got the call late last night around midnight saying that eastbound lanes of I-90 were shut down due to what we're calling at the time a mudslide. Let's see. And so, as you guys mentioned in your report, about 5 hours later, we were able to reopen it. Luckily, our crews were fast acting and were able to clear a lot of that debris. Basically, we had a lot of flooding with mud and water in that ditch line. Since then, as you mentioned, our geotechnical engineers were able to do a thorough inspection above that ridge line. Their assessment determined that it is likely for some more debris to come down, but certainly not as much as today. This is Mother Nature, so this week will certainly tell how our crews are out there monitoring it 24/7.
Summer, this is not a notorious spot for something like this to happen, but as we know, these storms kind of find weak spots because water goes where water goes. Are there any other roads you're monitoring where you expect this might happen if we get a lot of rain?
Yeah, of course, as you're traveling over the mountain passes, please expect anything, especially areas of standing water. We have seen areas that we haven't seen before. I've been here for 20 years, and I've never seen that spot hit like this before. So, again, really want to encourage travelers to be prepared for anything. State Route 906, just south of the summit of Snoqualmie Pass, was a bit of a surprise today. And then farther east, State Route 10, we've got that closure. No surprises there. That is an area where the Tanaway River meets the Yakima River.
Wow. Thank you, Summer. 20 years and you haven't seen anything like this. That is saying quite a bit. I wish your name could lend more to our weather right now, Summer. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Summer.
Now we're staying on top of this atmospheric river throughout the evening. Stay with us as we look closer at impacts in Pierce and Snohomish counties. That's later this